Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning. So good to be with you here for City Church. I'm joined by my really good friend, Holly Kuchera, who is here to share a little bit about small groups, which are launching this week for the new semester. She's up here for a few reasons, because she's been a participant in our small groups. She is a leader in our small groups. She's also helped with the curriculum that we'll be doing for the next 8 weeks in our small groups. So, Holly, thank you for being here. My first question, as we kind of just think about, some of the people have reservations sometimes about joining a group. What have you found or learned through your many years of being involved in small groups at City Church?
Yeah, I think, first of all, for those of you that might be feeling reserved, in my experience in groups at City Church, they're very welcoming and warm. People go out of their way to say hello and to want to know you. And I have experienced that as a newcomer. So I think that's important to know. Yeah.
And what have you learned, I guess, through those small groups as you've kind of explored community and time with God?
Yeah. I think one thing that I've learned personally from it is just sort of the power of the routine of weekly meetings. So I'm part of the Montrose City group, and I, try to go weekly. Sometimes I can't, and that's okay. But over the years, just showing up every Wednesday night, there's a real connection that starts to form with the people, checking in every week, what's going on. You tell them about what's going on. They ask again about it the next week. That feels really nice. And that's provided for me a real sense of connection and belonging that I long for. I think also in the group that I lead, which is Friday mornings, it's a focus group. I have learned just the power of, in both the Wednesday night group and the Friday morning group, what we get to do for each other is just remind each other of who God is, his love for us. And I, most of the time, leave those groups with sort of a renewed vision for who God is, who I am in light of him, and that really affects how I live my life for the rest of that week. Getting prayed for and praying for others has also been really powerful in my life in these groups. And then lastly, I would just say I've learned sort of the power of trying my best not to pretend, to the extent that I can, and I begin to feel comfortable in these groups, to be honest as both a leader and a participant about what I'm struggling with, what I'm sad about, what I'm frustrated about, what I'm celebrating. That really, I think, opens up, in my experience, real connection and potential for friendship building in these groups, which has been a real life source for me.
Yeah. And as I think you kept using the word reminding each other, because this is a place where you can bring your doubts and your questions. That's part of what they're designed to be. And this semester's study, it's called New Creation, the World, the Gospel, and the Mission of God. And Holly, alongside my friend Travis Harry, who's a deacon at City Church, we are co-writing this 8-week study that thinks through the language of creation and new creation throughout the Bible. Just maybe a quick tag, what are you most excited about as we close here with that study?
I think just this idea that we get to partner with God in his redemption, his kingdom come here on earth, this rescue. My life feels pretty small and ordinary a lot of the time, most of the time. So I'm excited to see what Scripture has to say about how we get to partner with him in our day-to-day and that.
Yeah. So this is our study for the small groups, but it's for anyone who wants to follow along. You can do it as a devotional. We have a little booklet that you can pick up today on the welcome table as you came in or as you leave. And there's a QR code where you can sign up for a weekly email from one of us that will have the devotional for the next week. So I really hope you'll sign up for that, whether you join a small group or not. And if you're not in a small group, I really hope you'll consider. Thank you for listening, and thanks, Holly, for sharing.